o'clock. Okay, the first item we need to do is approve the minutes of the July meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now the two gentlemen from Oriskany Falls from the Post Board, and tell us what your proposal is.
Hi, Clarence.
Hey,
How are you?
good, thank you. We're from the Amazing Grace Baptist Church and took down the memorials down there in Oriskany Falls.
Okay,
And we're purchasing the building from Clearview, from Richard Miller, there we go. And we've talked to the codes officer, he said, first thing you need to do is get in the good graces of the planning committee. And so that's why we're here. We're wanting to not change the building much at all, but just kind of reface it to look like a church and meet there.
no, he's not doing any kind of subdivision, is he? I mean, he's selling it intact, the house plus so much land?
We're not buying that.
Oh,
We're buying just the building, the Clearview building there. And we're getting about 4 acres of land, 4 to 4.5.
yeah, but I mean, he's not subdividing any land to make that 4.5 acres, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, he is.
So Richard has one deed presently,
No, he has 2 deeds.
one for that.
Yes, one for that half. And that half comes with 1.47, I believe.
On the one deed, what's on the second deed?
Well, what he's gonna do is he's selling us 3 acres of land from his 50 acres. It's gonna be all put on that deed.
Okay, so he has to go through a
Okay.
subdivision, so he has to approach the planning board and take that route before he sells it to him.
Okay, I'll let him know that.
Yeah. And we'll take it from there.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, so that's all you need to know at this point.
At this point.
I'll get him an application. I'll give you an application that you can take to Richard.
Okay, then
Tonight,
I'll be glad
to
to
kind
get
of
the ball all rolling.
Right, and he can fill that out, and the application fee, you'll see it's on there, it's like $50.
Okay.
And it'll tell him what he needs to do. But that way you can get it back here and,
Once that's done,
Yeah.
then you got a package.
and just let him know that he's gonna have to survey it
Yeah, we have
to
to
really get
Yeah.
things going. You know, if you, the quicker he gets those things done, the faster you can move through the planning board,
Very good.
okay?
Yeah.
Now, once that's complete, what are you doing with the building?
Basically, just kind of reface the building and use it pretty close to where it is. Couple Sunday school rooms.
Oh, so you're not really using it as a business, you're
No, we're gonna be using it as a church.
as a church. Okay, well, that's your first step, is ready to subdivide.
Okay, but even though this building's already a separate unit with separate feed and all that,
He could transfer that one parcel to you, yes.
yeah, that's what he's,
Well, if it's already subdivided, you can transfer.
Yeah, he can transfer that one parcel, yeah, the building, right?
right, the building and the 1.5 acres is already,
That's all good there, he can do that.
yes.
So if he, the additional land, he has to subdivide, he does have to go through a subdivision to do that.
Okay,
So no, if you're okay with the building, he can transfer that to you.
right, right. But as far as the building goes and that, how soon can we have to wait to get that subdivision done or just approved?
No, approved.
Okay, once that's approved, then we can meet back with you
Yeah.
here and go on from there.
Right.
Okay. And you only meet once a month, first Wednesday? Okay. Just one quick question while I got your audience. Is it possible to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if he was to come in like next month and I was to follow up? Could I be after him and if you approved it, catch it then just so I can try to get the ball rolling?
Once we approve his subdivision, he actually don't even need to see you,
Oh, you don't?
no. 'Cause once the subdivision's approved, he can then transfer it to you,
Right.
yeah.
And once it's transferred to me, then I'm in the good graces of the planning board committee, and I can go ahead with the close proceed there. Okay. Okay, boy, thank you very much, you sure made it easy. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too, Dad.
Okay, there's no unfinished, oh,
Mr. Blackmore?
Mr. Blackmore?
Yes. Do I need to stand in front of him?
Yes, and it's right in front of the
Well, actually,
table.
since I got all these maps and things, I'm gonna need to cross the front of the table.
I have a question too. I'm not on the agenda, but when,
What I'll do, I'll let you have, oh, okay. Do you wanna ask a quick question first? Cause I mean, I got 3 different items, so.
no,
if it's-
just for a general question at the end.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been sort of working and scouting out area for a trail proposal since we've been working on the Shenango Canal,
Mhm.
which actually goes all the way down to Hamilton, and there's been quite a bit of trail work done, well, throughout the county on several different trails. This is just one item out of several. Casanova has a bunch which goes into the Link Trail, Finger Lakes Trail, the Casanova Preservation Trails, and we're actually on here connecting in the trail all the way down to Hamilton. But what I've been looking at, of course, this is an old topo map and it's got roads and stuff that I'd like to use, but I can't right now, is making a triangular trail that completes the Shenango Canal where it ends, Shenango Canal Trail, Towpath Trail, where it ends at the spillway where the viaduct used to be. You can get on the railroad bed, so I've already been on through there up along the milk house. So that was basically going Bounkville, Solsville to town properties, either by the highway department or across the lake, or if I can talk to Mr. Livermore there and go on the old roadway that went to some of the campsites there. And then I had, after I had seen, part of the thing that touched this off is after talking to Dan Salzgiver and saying that the school was actually working on a trail system too, connecting into that trail system. So I got that far, then when I started scouting out across where I thought I could go behind the school, where the school trail may go, I ran into, well, I actually went down to the lake, but I didn't realize that Guy Mintel has a rental campground of some sort there.
I think he does,
Yeah, he must have some kind of permit for that. But anyway, he, huh?
yeah. I think-
Yeah, I didn't know it either, so I went down the road and it wasn't, there's 2 accesses. I wanted to stop by and talk to him first, but it was a Monday and he was closed, so I just went on and headed down the road to the lake, but apparently he saw me from the window, so he came after me. So he's got people that rent campsites down there, and he was like, I don't think he wanted to be part of my trail system, let's put it this way. So, I mean, that's easy enough to bypass him, because part of the idea is also to hit up businesses along the way. So my idea was just to, you know, I'm not sure exactly where the school trails are gonna be, but then come out, you know, if people wanna get refreshments at the Easy Mart there or something like that. Then you can go, then I went behind Beaton's on Farm Road at Scout, it goes up to where there's the water tower here, there's Water Tower Trail. Then there's a trail that goes along the edge of the woods there, and then you can essentially drop down to the county tourism place, and then probably make it into Bobville, you know, go along where the shops are or something like that, unless there's a way of going across the antique fields or something like that. So anyway, the problem I have right now is connecting to Bobville from about this point in the woods. And I didn't know if there was a process to go through you to sanction it, or if I got to just deal with the county. I mean, they produce maps and stuff for county tourism does these, I know, but of course the school's involved. I just thought it would be something I should run by you in case we start needing to, well, you're the planning department and, planning board, plus it's part of our comprehensive plan to make more pedestrian and bike-friendly areas for people. Recreational uses all ties into that. Casanova seems to have enhanced trail systems, ties into Stone Quarry Hill Art Park, and there are 2 other trail systems really. So anyway, I just want to run by that first before I start talking to people in terms of access, permission, whether they want to work with the town on a right of way of some sort for a trail.
I was
And
gonna
a
say,
more
you've never
official
been
trail
involved in
system.
anything like this before. Number one, you're not doing any land transfers, you're just getting permission from the
Right.
property owners to do that, right?
Well, you're more involved in more than land transfers, right? Wind laws,
Well, yeah, if you-
planning, the comprehensive plan, so, I mean, anything can be, I mean, as long as it ties into the comprehensive plan goals, it should be run by you, I would think.
I would suggest you actually provide a map showing us exactly all the routes.
Well, that's essentially this triangle, so, you know, the towpath runs along Canal Road essentially until you hit the railroad bed, then you got a wetland in between. Coming up the road here and exactly where I can tie in sort of depends on where the school trails run, but definitely this is town property, let alone the highway department property. I mean, there used to be little roadways through here, this, I think, goes through Tracy's home. I think some people still use it as a trail, according to her.
Snowmobile trails, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Livermore gives me permission to cut down the lake through here, but I don't know if he wants, you know, the people coming between the cornfield and the swimming pool.
Well, the only question I would have on that, if that was, if I was one of the property owners, would be the legality of it, because if you're asking me for a right of way, and I would almost have to almost deed it off, because I wouldn't want to have the.
Liability.
Pardon?
Liability.
Yeah, that's a shot, I wouldn't want the liability, I might let you do it, but I would not want the
Ron, what would
liability.
you like us to do for you? I mean, where would we?
Well,
Yeah,
just make you aware of what I'm trying to do, and, yeah, I mean, you could have liability, somebody walking along the road right in front of your house too, I suppose, I mean, if that's,
Sure.
You could have the snowmobile club add to their trail system, they'd have the liability covered.
yeah, we don't want them on the Shenango Canal Trail. Well, I mean, I don't think the nature trails in the school would be appropriate for that either. But there is, I mean, it's true, there is a snowmobile trail that comes around this part of the lake.
Association.
You might be in the right way.
I think that's what I would suggest too.
Madison County Planning Department
So if the
And
county
the Madison
designated
County
as a
Planning
trail, that would,
and Canal Association.
they would come under their, yeah, well, how does the Canal Association handle use of the canal trail?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You'd have to talk to
No
them.
idea.
That Department of Transportation or the?
You'd have to contact county planning, so.
Okay, that's what I was on
I
that
think if you
one.
work with the county planning, you might get more, better answers than from us.
Okay,
I know.
this definitely comes under you. You missed it. You were there, right? We went to a green space, farmland preservation, farm-friendly land use regulations. And one of the recommendations there, and I think I ran this by you, Roger, because I know we have minimum acreage sizes, but what they suggested in terms of land preservation is a maximum lot size be incorporated into our land use regulations, which would be something like, well, the example I gave would be if you had a 50-acre piece being subdivided, say into 5 lots, rather than having 5 10-acre lots, you cluster the development with 5 2-acre lots, say maximum lot size 2 acres, that leaves 40 acres free for
Agriculture.
bird habitat or agriculture,
Yeah.
well, or field nesting birds. I mean, one of the greatest threats to wildlife and birds are subdivisions, and particularly when it's all turned into lawn. But anyway, that was highly recommended in that workshop as a way of preserving space and being more efficient basically with land use. And that would fit in with our town comprehensive plan also. I mean, if we have a town comprehensive plan, what are we gonna do to implement it? If we are gonna start doing some things that promote recreational use of property, which also enhances the businesses and tourism. And one of the most highly rated items on, in the surveys and stuff that we had in the prior workshop, the county workshop, was green space and the rural character of town.
I think that's something we need to address when we actually address our land use regulations, which we've not done yet.
Oh, it's not,
No,
okay.
it's not done yet.
So this, okay, so
So
that's
it has
something
potential, yeah.
adding into, so that's something you're gonna really think about in
Yeah,
terms of
'cause I think I
maximum lot
went
size.
to a seminar 2-3 years ago. It was put on by the USDA and the EPA. It was the same thing, that they were recommending defined lots. I mean, that was it.
Yeah, well, clustering development basically too, especially if it's gonna be 50 acres that was formerly in a rural area, and it's not community-centered around Madison itself or Hamilton or something, then it makes sense to cluster it. Otherwise, you run into the situation like we got up on Hill Road, there's somebody sitting there with a nice house, well then, or Hill Newton Road, or that development, you got huge lots, big, huge house gets stuck there, and all it's gonna have around it is, people mowing their lawns, and totally not usable for agriculture, hunting, or wildlife habitat. Which brings up, if we're gonna have regulations specifying detailed and stringent water testing and sound limits and stuff for windmills, why can't we apply that to subdivisions too? Because that's actually a greater threat. Septic systems, human waste, lawnmowers, ATVs, chainsaws, motorboats around the lake where you get a bunch of little lots and stuff. In terms of noise, that's more of a nuisance than any wind tower that we have in this county.
I think
So
they were
if
working on a noise ordinance here a while ago, and I don't know if they finished it, or not. I know Jim was working on it.
Is it gonna be as detailed as well, essentially you all passed into the wind law. If there's gonna be consistency or Madison unity, let's use that phrase.
I haven't read it, I don't know.
You haven't read the wind law?
No, I haven't read this, the noise law, the one they're proposing.
Oh, okay, well, I mean, it should be as stringent and have penalties and stuff like that if we're gonna put them in a wind law. But also the water, water testing issue too, because any subdivision
Your
eventually.
sewage and all that comes under your county health department, not the town.
Okay, well then you got water contamination, water testing and stuff, with wind tower construction is gonna contaminate groundwater, which is a total myth, but if you're gonna have water testing in that law, then you need to put it in your subdivision laws too. Maybe a mile away or something, I don't know.
You're making a point.
Well, the point is consistency. If you're gonna be, if you're gonna harass a clean industry with the local law, then let's go all the way with subdivisions. That comes under your roots, right? You pass the wind law, you deal with subdivisions.
Okay.
Okay? Lawnmowers, noisy. Even after 7 PM, I get people around mowing their lawns, so think about that.
Okay, Nancy?
I just have a question about land use regulations and districts in Madison. When I bought my house on Lake Moraine 2 years ago, somebody, and I think it was the ex-owner, told me that there were fairly stringent regulations on properties around the lake in terms of the extent of new development, and that you had to stay within existing footprints plus some percentage. Is that, I can't find any actual
I
text
don't know
of
of any
that.
myself unless Ted, do you?
Nope, I've been there for 30 years.
So there is no such thing as a lake district? So there's no control over
Absolutely not.
what people, so I could build a very large garage on my property
Absolutely.
and nothing would stop me. And my neighbors can do the same and nothing.
But you can't add bedroom space without septic system upgrades, and none of those septic
Okay.
systems meet standards, so that would tie into what you're saying, though, they can't expand.
I'm asking the planning board actually.
Okay,
So-
He is right.
Okay, so if I were to add a second building to my property and put septic in it and put a bedroom in it, that would be different. So I couldn't build a second house on my tiny little piece of land.
Most likely that's correct.
Correct.
Depends on the
So
property.
really, adding septic is the critical thing that you use to judge.
Well, not only that, we still have the 1 acre per lot. I mean, you could tear your house down and put a new one up if you have a half acre, but you could not construct the second one. Because you wouldn't. that wouldn't
So
do
could
it.
I build a house twice the size of the one I have?
I doubt it.
Okay, so where is that codified? I'm not actually eager to build right now, but I'm interested in knowing where the law is and how I would know.
I think if you tore your house down, you may not be able to rebuild it.
How big is your lot now?
There's a difference
It's very small,
there. Yeah.
0.17.
What size is your lot, acre-wise?
It's